Hey there gardeners, Chris here. We've had good success with our rhubarb, so I wanted to report back on essentially what happened. I bought a rhubarb crown, which is obviously kind of the underground established part of the plant that you can buy as a more established option rather than a seedling. I bought one of those and I forgot to plant it, and I went back to the nursery and I thought I'll buy another one just to be sure. At the time, the guy in the nursery was really helpful. He was kind of giving me the tips on how to pick out a really good crown, and I think he was saying at the time you kind of wanted a plump, fairly hard crown, I guess, if that makes sense, like a firm crown. You didn't want it to be limp. And most of the ones available, because that was well after when they were in their prime, weren't looking so good, and he said, you know what, I'll give you two for the price of one, see how you go. So I planted the 3 crowns in 3 different locations. One here in this garden bed where it probably gets the most sun, and I think this was the best crown from memory. Another one up in our asparagus bed, hasn't been doing very well. And then another one on this same row, but down one more bed along, and it has gone better, but only this rhubarb plant here has given us a crop. And basically all it was is, and I could probably take, I probably wouldn't, but I probably could take these branches off. Is this? Yeah, like this one. So essentially what you're doing, you pull these branches or these leaves off, and the bit you're eating is not the leaf, which is poisonous, it's this stalk here, and you pull it off the plant right down the base. And you do probably, if it's not really well established, need to be a little careful not to pull the plant out of the ground. However, this one here is pretty well established, and yeah, and then you can chop this up and freeze it or use it straight away. You want a little bit, you want enough to, I guess you'd say, make a dish out of it, like for a crumble or with some apple to make a bit of a mixture of apple and rhubarb, which is a really good combo. Then you can have it with cream or ice cream or maybe custard or something like that. It is a really nice flavor, and I'm just really excited that we got a crop out of this. Obviously, the other 2 plants have been much less of a success, and I'll give you a look at them because it's possible if you are in the same situation, maybe you buy some crowns and you plant them, you might have any of these outcomes. So this one's really good. This one is actually looking a little sparse at the moment because we took so many branches off it, and it is growing back really, really nicely. I probably need to give it a fertilize to be fair, but super healthy. And these were really attacked by the grasshoppers as well, so keep an eye out for those because they can really devastate your plants. But let's go down and have a look at the other one, which is not doing as well as this and certainly hasn't given us a crop. So this is our second most successful rhubarb, and in saying that, it has not been successful enough that we'd get a crop from it, or maybe we could have really kind of stretched one out, that we could have grabbed some of these branches. And even looking at it now, I guess maybe we could give that a go. It's just that the stalks, I should call them, rather than the branches, are quite small. And this has smaller leaves. It obviously is struggling a little bit more in this bed. It goes to show it's just one bed down from the other one. It gets a little bit less sunlight, and I think this bed is just a bit dry. The soil mix was not so good, and it has struggled a little, but it's coming along nicely. And I reckon next season it'll be a real performer, which is great because at the end of the day, I do love a bit of rhubarb. So if you're in this kind of situation, I wouldn't be too worried personally. Probably more fertilizer. I'm being careful not to overwater them, but that is honestly not much of an issue in summer here in Australia and in New South Wales. We've been getting so little rain, and I think that probably is holding them back a little bit as well, because from memory, they don't like wet feet, but they do like a good bit of moisture. So yeah, but I would still say this is a great success story. The one in the asparagus patch, yeah. Rhubarb? What rhubarb, I hear you asking? This little guy, this tiny little guy down in here is our other rhubarb guy. I wonder if, is that a bit of mold or something on it? It's a good question. This guy, not doing so well. Now again, my asparagus is struggling a little this summer, and I think I need to really top the bed right up with nice quality soil to give them the best go, and the same goes for here. I did half of the bed. I pulled a lot of the mulch back and I put some of the new soil delivery in. But I think, to be honest, adding some more compost to it and really making it like a nice rich soil would have been the better bet for this garden bed, because this garden bed really does need the TLC, because this garden bed here just seems to dry out so quickly. It's got a lot of our kind of more perennial stuff in it. It's got our asparagus, which should go for 20 years. It has our rhubarb, of course, and it's got these strawberries, and these strawberries are going quite well, but they're only producing these tiny little strawberries here. And while I'm perfectly happy with that, it's easy to see that this bed has a lot of room for improvement. Everything's kinda just struggling and staying alive, but my asparagus in particular, like this little guy here, is just not doing that well. And it should be getting stronger and stronger, and it should be getting more established and getting bigger and better. And it's not, and that is a sign that there's something wrong with the soil. And so one of the jobs for this garden bed is to bring down a whole heap of bucket loads of soil from that soil delivery and really give this a bit of an improvement. I'm going to do a bit of research. I'd like to buy some compost and mix that in so that we've got like rich organic matter, and to buy that in bulk is the best deal as far as money. But maybe buying some bags of mushroom compost might be the way to go as well, and mixing that in with that soil mix. Because obviously, I mean, I would have thought with asparagus, I can raise that soil level quite significantly, because it has subsided after the bed was first filled, and it shouldn't really affect the asparagus. It shouldn't kill it off, I would hope. But again, that's an assumption by me. It'll be a little bit harder on the strawberries, which are already planted a fair bit lower than the soil level, just because I've already topped off this side of the bed, not that side of the bed. But again, I think it probably needs another inch, maybe 2 inches of soil to fill it right up. And I want to make sure that it's not compacted soil. I want it to be a nice, light, airy soil, because this soil is pretty hard, and I can't dig up around those asparagus crowns, especially not at this time of year. Maybe in winter, maybe. I'm not sure it's a wise thing to do, but it might be a possibility. However, as it stands, we just need to really give this bed a bit more of an advantage so that these plants can go well. And so our weakest and our worst performing of our rhubarbs can get nice and big and strong and give us some rhubarb next season.